What's up, guys and gals, and welcome back to a Sunless Sea. We've been sent off by the Admiralty to Port Cecil, and that's where we will head today. As you can tell if you took a look at the top left-hand corner, we've got ourselves a ton. Actually, I need to repair my ship. That's what I forgot to do. About face! Turn the ship around. There we go. Let's flip this thing around and go back. I made a mistake. I need to repair my ship real fast, but anyways, we could do that while I'm sitting here explaining what's going on. We turned in everything. We got about 250 echoes. I promptly spent them on a bunch of supplies so that we would have a surplus right now so that we could go on a giant adventure today and just go all over the place. Let me find the dry dock here. Good. We've got the Admiralty Yards, which we need... Oh, we only have 3. Okay. Well, then I guess we'll spend 30 echoes at the nice place so that we get 25 hull to put us at 70. There, I feel better about us now. I don't like being low on hull. It's one of those little things that sometimes the damage is very bursty in this game. The thing that I would probably suggest to the developers is to divide all of the damage in combat by 5. Just universally for everything. Divide it all by 5 so that combat lasts a little bit longer when it comes down to fights between ships. Because right now the fights between creatures seem to be about right. Creatures and ships, they seem to fight okay. But when it's a ship versus ship battle, you end up in this weird spot where... Actually, I'm going to get terror if I go out there. I don't want to do that. I would like to get my hunger down, but I'm going to wait for a crab to come closer to me first. There we go. Now we've got crabs. Go ahead and fight this crab really fast so that we can get our hunger down. It's not going to take long. In fact, I may just illuminate twice, and then we'll go like that. I don't know if the 2 illuminations are going to be enough to get up to 50, but we'll give it a go. They are not. So let's go ahead and cancel that. Unless this one crits. Yeah, it still left us a little high and dry, or low and dry, whichever you would prefer. Never understood why being high and dry was better than being low and wet. Both seem to be totally unpleasant. Like, both sayings seem as though they suck. Like, you want to be in the middle somewhere. But, I don't ask these questions anymore. It's a great way to end up confused all the time. We've got... I think this is going to be... I forget the name of this city out here, but it's here. There's a little city out here. There we go. The Mutton Atoll or Mutton Island or something like that. God, there's so many crabs out here. Try and make sure that I don't hit the island while evading all these little rats. Because I would sincerely prefer to not waste my time in every single episode with like random fights that I don't feel like going with. Let's go to Quakers Haven and we'll get the port report from here. I don't think it's worth anything, but we'll go ahead and grab it. Since every little bit helps, we can pick up the Wretched Mog. I'm going to leave the Wretched Mog alone because it gets rid of all of your rat-related... So you can get rat sender, you can get a rat sender, and you can get rat engineers eventually. And if you have the Wretched Mog, unfortunately it kind of runs everything off that's related to mice and rodentia. So I'll leave that where it is. We'll explore the shore, and it looks like a concert. As you prepare to go ashore, your first officer salutes. Captain, 4 of the crew intend to perform a concert on the seashore. You and I are both invited to attend. It'll be good for morale, and some of them can actually carry a tune. In happier times, you'd practice the record in the parlor of the rectory. You still have it somewhere. You could join in. Oh, we can join. Okay, let's join in. Yeah, let's do it. You can only do that when we have the priest in the background. All of you together, there on the doorstep of the deep, making your uncertain way through recent Mahogany Hall favorites. It's a little bubble of cheery London light in the teeth of the night. You catch your cook's eye and grin. And so we got a memory of distant shores. We succeeded in the challenge and we lost 3 terror. Very, very good. Let's grab a chat with the fisherman. And so we got a port report right there. I thought there was another event here, but I might be thinking of somewhere else. And so what I like to do with Quakers Haven is there's a little rock right here, and if you can make the jump to the rock, you shouldn't gain terror. It depends. Sometimes you make it, sometimes you don't. It depends on the angularity. But anyways, it'll save you a little bit of terror, and then from here you want to cut out this way, and you'll hit Godfall. Although I think the Cumane Canal is probably a better choice right now. Yeah, we can do an about face. We've got extra terror. It'll be fine. I'm not thinking logically right now. I should have gone from here back over to here and then around the hook, but that'll take too long, and I wouldn't want to be hard on my supplies while I'm trying to explore. I'd rather be hard on my terror because I know how to get rid of that at this point. I can just kind of spam recent news over at the house with the 3 ladies, who I'm suspecting that they might be vampires or demons. That would be my guess, having now played Fallen London. I've got a feeling they're either vampires or demons. Ooh, we made it. Good. Let's go ahead and we'll make the run right here. Unfortunately, that guy is a little bit closer than I feel comfortable with. This is one of the places where you can get some of the best information you could possibly get. Every now and again, like we did in the last episodes, you'll get a piece of a moves in the great game, which is worth a lot of money. You can sell it for quite a bit. So I would definitely listen for surface gossip around here whenever you can. So this would be a prime spot for a pub or wine shop, but the interests of the Echo Bazaar and the laws of London prevent it. They don't like competition. Still, there are temporary half-legal hostelries in long-moored ships. Here you trade stories with suntan surface sailors, stories of Paris and Batavia, the lost fires of the Final Isles. You get one vision of the surface. So that's not the best result, but it's better than you might get. We'll get the perfunctory port report from right there. And so now we will head east. You guys have all told me very generously that there's nothing south of here, and so I don't think I'm going to waste my time with it. Instead, what I think I'll do is I'll make for this little light down here. And Godfall is going to be right over here. And so I think if we cut a hard east, we should be perfectly good to hit Godfall. On September 9th, we fed the crew, so we lost one of our supplies right there. We've got 3 fuel missing. It's been an okay voyage. Let's see here. There it is. We've got screaming faces. We might be getting too close to Polythream. I might have missed this slightly. I know Godfall. Okay, so we got the Antonine Abyss. Maybe... Oh, Godfall's up over here. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm way off on the side. I'm actually down by Polythream right now. We do have the port report for Port Cecil that I should probably go handle. There we go. There's Ashaven. And something is waiting for us in port. It's probably the Bruiser. He wants us to do our first mission for him. The missions for the Bruisers are good because they give you like that one-time opportunity to make a ton of cash really, really fast. And nothing bad has ever happened from taking it. I mean, it's not like you get hunted by the police or anything, so I don't really worry about it. Godfall. We'll give their port report. And after gathering their port report, I do think that we're going to make the run down to... Well... Let's go, I think Port Cecil... It's like out here somewhere. Let's go back to Mutton Island. And what we'll attempt to do is I'm not going to go any further east right now. I could if I wanted to, but I'm going to avoid it. How many secrets have we accumulated already? Let me take a look at the Gazette. We've got 1 secret, so we actually don't have that many. I used 1 to unlock the university. But I don't think we've accumulated actually as many as I think we've accumulated. We have been getting fragments, no doubt. We've got 1 ship right there that's guarding the little stop-off point, so unfortunately we're going to have to take the terror. I don't like it, but it has to happen. And so our terror continues to accumulate slightly. I'm going to fight this crab to reset our hunger. And in doing so, that should save us a little bit of supply. And there's really not much to say about these fights anymore. I mean, if you've noticed, I've drawn a little bit quiet in the last couple episodes because there's not really anything to talk about. I mean, I could make stuff up to talk about, but really, gameplay-related concepts, we've pretty much gone through all of them at this point until we catch up back to where we were previously. We'll butcher it for supplies, there it is, and then we'll make for Quakers Haven. I'm going to see if there's another event here. You see how it rushed the tear right there? It went tick, tick, tick real fast to fill it in? What's up with that? We'll explore the shore. A glittering eye. You turn and there's a long... Oh, this is the guy that does the Tales of Terror. So if we have a Z story and a Tale of Terror, we can tell him. We can turn the situation around, but... For 5 terror and 2 echoes, you can get yourself a Tale of Terror. And so he tells you super scary stories, and you get Tales of Terror. The Tales of Terror are actually pretty valuable. You should probably try and accumulate them, because you can turn them in for good stuff. Way up in Withers, you can turn them in for ivory, I think, or something. Or like you can turn them in for, not moves in the great game, but you can turn them in for something valuable, as I recall. I'd like to see what this is over here. And so we've got the Sisterhood. I forgot about the Sisterhood. Let's stop in and we'll see what's going on with them. swing on up and through and see what our cowled friend... Actually, they say that they dance around on the walls, whipping each other with chains and all kinds of crazy stuff, so I think it's kind of some weird sadomasochist thing. I don't know. Some people like to get beat when they get it on. I don't know. I have no idea. We can knock at the iron-studded gates with news. I don't want to do that. I want to save it for terror. So we'll get the Abbey Rockport report. The Sisterhood will pay a fair price for supplies, not a good price, mind you. Let me try that out. Oh, you gain 11 you get 11 echoes, so you actually make money on that. A little bit anyways, not a whole lot. And that right there just reduces your terror by 2. And so we have no recent news, nothing happens, we get drizzled on in the rain. That's fun. Well, that sort of begs the question if I should stop off at London. Let's stop off at London really fast on the way back. And in stopping off at London, we'll be able to get more recent news. We'll swing through, we'll reduce our terror slightly. And then I would like to get started. I mean, I'm going to do it after I record this little batch of episodes. And so I'm going to start running wine again down to Godfall to make a whole bunch of money in the early game before it matters. Obviously, there runs the risk. The game sort of does have its own lockout right now where if you run back and forth in between London too much, you'll end up with the event eventually where the bruiser locks you out. And he says you can't come back until you deliver the thingy. That's normal, it happens, so be aware that that might come up if you're trying to do what I'm doing. I don't think I can make the run from right here over to this light without gaining some terror, but we're going to try it nonetheless. Did we make it? No, we did not make it. You never seem to make it. That's one thing I've noticed about the terror meter, is that if it's up over here, it fills itself in really, really fast. It'll go tick, tick. It'll be going tick, tick, tick. But if you're drawing close to land, it'll go tick, 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 and fill itself in, and then it'll turn green. I don't know if that's by design or if it's just like a perceptual thing, but I swear to God it happens. I've stared at it and just been like tick, 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 right when you get near the end. It's like every time it seems like you're in a squeeze for terror, it seems to go up a little bit weird. I don't know. Maybe me. It's just me. It's like noticing things, but we've got the blind bruiser wants a word. That's all for now. We'll accept the commission as we did before. We got one stamped. It wants to go to Mount Palmerston, so it goes to the same place. That's fine because I was going to go northward anyways to find Port Cecil, so that works out great. We can actually make a really good run right there. The Memory of a Distant Shore. We'll turn that in. We got Antiquarian 2, and that means we get 10 echoes. Okay. Let's go to our lodgings. We'll accumulate the news. We'll get 1 terror off. We'll go back to the Admiral. We'll turn in our port reports. Got the Rubbery Lumps, Abbey Rock, Cumaean Canal, and Godfall. And so we made a little bit of cash right there. Not very much, but we made a little bit, so I guess it'll work out to our favor. We've got the Admiralty reports. Our armor's still looking good on the hull. Did I ever collect? I did. I collected the prize for turning in that ship. Okay. So we've got that taken care of. I'm trying to think if there's anything else we need to do in London. It looks like we have somebody that's offering to join us. We're going north, so we should probably take tomb colonists. Who's the recruit? We've got a tireless mechanic. Afternoon, ready to offer my services. I'm an engineer, finest you'll ever hire. Treat engines like my own children. Not that I have children, too busy working. Always busy working. Haha, yes. Well, he probably used his kids for fuel. We've also got the Carnelian Exile. So it's a first officer that increases our mirrors and pages. I think we'll probably go with her. And is that the only one that I can take, or do more people want to sign on? Okay, so you can only pick one at a time. If we go to our officers menu, she'll be right there. That'll increase our mirrors slightly, make our lives a little bit easier. It'll also raise our pages up. You never know when you're going to have to do one of their little challenges, so you might as well raise it up now. We've got about all the stuff that we're going to need for the trip. So yeah, let's just be on our way. I mean, we might as well. So to Vetterblight we go with all of these tomb colonists. Additionally, we're going to try and make the run to Mount Palmerston and also to Port Cecil. I don't know if fuel is going to allow in this case, but we're going to try it anyways. On the way past, we're going to go to the house over here. We're going to turn in some stories in order to get ourselves lowered terror by about 10. That should cover us. Hopefully we don't go up over 50. There's the possibility that we might. But I don't think it'll happen. I think our fuel should hold out all the way to Mount Palmerston. I don't know. We'll see. It may or may not. We may have to buy it at increased price once we get up there. So there we are, a terrorless trip to Hunter's Keep. We'll dock. Let's give them some news so that they'll let us stop by. We'll go with the Sunny Sister so that we gain a supply, we lose hunger. That's good. Hunter's Keep is all fine. We'll get the port report because 5 echoes is 5 echoes. And on this side, I'm gonna try. And there's a light ship up here. I'm gonna try and catch it on the way around so that we can ride the light all the way up to where we need to go. However, sometimes it takes it a little while to come about. Yeah, so there it is right there, unfortunately. We will, however, make it to right here without any problems. I'm going to swing up and around this way slowly to conserve fuel and to wait for it to come about. Actually, we got to go to Vetterblight, so there's no point. Well, there is a point, I guess. I think I can make the run up here to Tonachuk, so we'll try and make it to Tonachuk before bad things happen. Ain't quite make it. We tried. We'll pop some of them into the pot too, or we could use them to reduce our terror since we're in a non-terror zone. It's really the captain's call if you wanted to put it on the table. I've used it, I mean, you only lose 1 terror, but if you're in a terrorless zone and you fight like 5 groups of bats, it's a reduction of 5 terror, so it's something if you're already riding the line. If you're sitting at 75, I'd rather be at 70 than 75 considering how close to the edge you are. Tomb Colony. We'll explore Vetterblight. A monumental ruin. The builders of this place worked with great slabs of Neathwall stone carved with blank-eyed, unsmiling faces and blocky, stoic serpents. Creepers climb the shattered pyramid, an owl blinks at you from the idol's mouth, and the undergrowth, a cave lizard, munches decorously on a white cricket. This place seems peaceful. Rest for a while, or we can search warily. Let's rest for a while. Wine and sea bread. You and your comrades find stones to perch on and munch laver bread, truffles, and herring. Someone passes a bottle of Greyfields, an adequate vintage. White crickets buzz in the weeds, a shiver of wind passes, and the air is still with the absence of chill that passes for warmth down here. 2 sailors compare tattoos, your head swims pleasantly with the wine. Lovely. Got ourselves a drunk. We'll get the Vetterblight port report, we'll go to the Carnal Lounge or the Charnel Lounge, we'll turn those in. Sell our visions of the surface here. And much past here, so that's not going to be a reasonable price. We can visit the Grand Curator if we have 1 key of histories. However, the key of histories, I think you get that by going to the Canet. I'm not sure. Let's go on up to Withers. We've got more than enough fragments to kind of make friendly with the locals. If you don't know, people in Withers speak in riddles, and so anytime you want to go up there, you want to have lots of fragments. I'm going to go the long way. We're going to go around the edge right here to avoid our terror going up because that is kind of a long haul. And so what I'll try and do is we'll stick to the beach right here. And right about this little protrusion right here, we'll cut the gap. And so that should allow us to go up to right there. Good. There should be another gap up here that I memorized as well that you can make the skirt across from. It's all about drawing lines when it comes to naval stuff. I had thought about when our first captain had died, I'd really thought about doing a Sid Meier's Pirates run, but I need to practice first. Because I like playing on the highest difficulty or the second highest one. The highest difficulty is broken. The second highest difficulty is the one that I like to play on. 50 fragments there. Unfortunately, we just leveled up and got a secret. Usually that's a good thing. In this case, it's a bad thing. Go to Censor's Arch. And Withers should be up over here, and then Codex should be over here. And then if we keep going east, we'll get to Mount Palmerston, and then I think Port Cecil is slightly to the south of that. And so we should be able to hit everything on this haul. We're going to break off the episode pretty shortly, but I think it's something that we can manage. In Wither, we'll explore the town, because why not? And it says that we have riddles here, but our pages are very, very bad, and so this really isn't... One of the fishermen is bursting to try it. We can go with 1 echo. A whale's eye. The fisherman chuckles and pounds the ground with a fist. City folk, he grows. City folk. Pay up. And so we've lost an echo. We gained 5 fragments. We failed in a challenge. Ah, well. We'll gather intelligence. So we got the port report. And then we wanted to... So for 1 Tale of Terror, we can get supplies. Or we can get... We can sell Stygian ivory here for tails. Okay, and so there was another place. I think it's down in... What's it called? The place where everything's alive. I'm sorry, I got a random little yawn right there. The place where everything's alive. The Prometheus... That's not what it's called. I can't remember the name of it, but it's southeast of Godfall. There's an island where you can get Stygian ivory in trade for Z stories or something like that, I think. So eventually I think you can convert your Z stories into other stuff. Fuel cost us a Z story, Mutter salt. Oh, that's actually 5 Z stories to buy it. That's actually pretty expensive. And the Mutter salt, I think Z stories go for 10 echoes a piece, and Mutter salt goes for... Actually, I have it on my list right there. It goes for 50, so that's the exact same exchange rate. I don't know why you would ever do that. Seems like a waste of time. Let's be on our way. We've got a little bit of time left. I hate to break an episode off in the middle of a voyage, so hopefully we can get to Codex before I am forced to turn off the camera. However, I think we'll be... Oh, I did something dumb just now. I cut wide. I just took 1 tear for no reason, which you really sort of want to avoid. Let's stick close to the icebergs. I'm going to avoid having any Titanic situations right here, although I'm trying to avoid minuscule ones as well. And in Codex, we should be able to do something. I think there's like some crazy occurrence that happens here the first time you come. Oh no, maybe it's only when you come here for a port report. Okay, let's go through... I'm going to try and land on this right here. Not land, but I'm going to try and go by this so that we don't get the tear. There we go. Tear is now diminishing. And I think we've got a long terror-filled cut right now for Mount Palmerston, unfortunately. There's not going to be much that we can do about that. We can optimize our chances by swinging through this little light radii. This light radius. Took 2 terror on the way in, unfortunately. But we should be almost there. And so we've got ourselves the Chapel of Lights. I think we missed this on our first playthrough. I don't think I ever saw this before. I might be cutting too hard to the right. I might need to go north a little ways. We'll figure it out. Abbey Horizon is a long way to the northeast. Alright, what the hell is that? I don't want to know. It's like a giant sea urchin. I'm not down. Do you hear music? Furtive faithful gather in the shadows between the many, many candles. The bell tolls in the chapel tower. Cracked iron laughter. Beware, the isle is full of voices. We'll gather intelligence. A smiling priest in a red cassock tends the chapel. The congregation are shy of light. They come and go in little ships, and it's strangely difficult to count them. Perhaps some of them are imaginary. Still, you note the name of a ship or two. A smiling priest unlocks the door of the storehouse for you. Here, he says, eat, but take nothing away with you. They have shark steaks plucked from the sea, thin slices of cavern tuna, translucent and delicate as paper, little crimson cakes flavored with cinnamon and coated with poppy seeds, tomatoes possibly ripe and sweet so far from the surface. Gorge yourself, leave the juices dripping from your chin. Okay, and so you can actually resupply right here. That's cool. My name is Splattercat. This seems like a great spot to break off the episode. I will see you all in the next episode of Sunless Sea. Take care out there, everybody, and hi-do.